A battle between fate and destiny as Hull City take on Norwich down at Carrow Road in a match that hopefully will have the Tigers roaring once again. Hello then, welcome back to the HullCityFanCentral YouTube channel, where today I'll be giving you my preview, prediction and everything that you need to know ahead of Hull City versus Norwich. Of course, away Norwich, 12:30 kickoff at Carrow Road against a struggling Norwich City side. That's the big talking point coming into this one. Norwich City currently sitting second from bottom. Of course, we know who is at bottom, that being Sheffield Wednesday. Norwich City have had an absolutely horrid start to the season, and it's been a horrid time for them really since the back end of last season, where they were sort of declining towards the end of last season, and now their troubles have continued. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's first of all start off with, on the Hull City standpoint, our injury update. So some positive news, some not so positive news, as is the usual crack with Hull City at the moment. So we'll start off with the big talking point, Liam Miller. Now we know that Liam Miller suffered the hamstring injury last time out for the Tigers against Charlton Athletic last weekend. We know that he's going to be out for some time. Luckily enough, it's not as bad as we originally thought. I was saying post-match, I was saying it's a hamstring injury, common things to happen when coming back from an ACL injury. Hamstring goes, you're looking out for about 6 to 8 weeks. Well, it's seeming that he'll be back at the end of next month, so being back at the end of November. Only a 4-week absence for Liam Miller with a hamstring injury that he suffered against Charlton Athletic. They're actually calling it a hamstring problem rather than an injury, so things are looking quite good there for him, seeing that he's got a bit of a better deal to what Mohamed Baloumi's hamstring injury was that he suffered coming back from his ACL. Matt Crooks is expected to continue to play. We know that he has torn his pectoral muscle in the game against Leicester City last week or the week beforehand it was. Torn his pectoral muscle. He's needing surgery for that, but he's going to continue playing. It's seeming that he'll probably take that surgery when the international break kicks underway. So he's got a few more games still to go for Hull City. Then they'll look at doing the surgery, which will put him out for, I think, 2 months' time. So he probably will be looking at coming back ready to go to start all the action in 2026. But I'll keep to stay on when we know things are solidified down with that one, as that's just a little bit of speculation for me at the moment. David Akintola, well, he missed the game on Saturday due to a back issue. He is expected to travel with the squad to Carrow Road. But Akin Famewell, he will not be, as he's apparently picked up another hamstring problem. But he is hoping to be fit and ready to go for the Derby County clash on Tuesday. Ollie McBurney will still remain on the sidelines with his calf injury. It's expected that he could return next week. But it's going to be a bit of a touch and go one, that with Ollie McBurney, of course, not wanting to rush him. International break coming up soon. Maybe you are looking to push him and not have him come back until after the international break, give him that extra bit of respite. Mohamed Baloumi, John Lundstrom will both not feature. Amir Hadzaimetovic is fine after suffering a little bang to the head last week, which forced him to miss training in the early parts of the week, but he'll be expected to go. Both Casey Palmer and Elliot Matazos, we only have one of them, Elliot Matazo, will both be out as the long-term absencees. So that's our injury rack through there on the Hull City standpoint. So some good news. I think more positive than negative this week, which is quite good to hear. So, with that all said, let's go into my predicted starting 11, powered by friends over at Fanhub. So, here's my Hull City predicted starting 11 for Sergei Yakirovich. I think he's going to go back to the formation that he has been rolling out for majority of the season. Of course, changed up last time to try and combat the defensively strong Charlton Athletic. Of course, with some injuries as well, kind of playing into that hand as well. I think he's going to go back to the lineup that he has been playing for majority of the season, that being that 4-2-3-1. With, of course, Ivo Pandey in between the sticks for the Tigers. A back lineup with Louis Carroll returning to starting lineup. He featured off the bench last time out after coming back from a bit of an injury setback, but he is looking ready to go, and I think Sergei Yakirovich prefers starting a Louis Carroll at the right back. Of course, he's the captain of the club, he's sort of the face of the locker room, so to speak, so I do think that he'll be starting this one on that standpoint, and he's not been doing too badly this season, really getting stuck in, and has looked quite good in his role that he's been playing so far for the Tigers. Along with that, Semir Jai, who has been absolutely fantastic in his few appearances for Hull City. Of course, had that big injury absentee period, but he has been absolutely fantastic since coming back from that time out. Partnered up with Charlie Hughes, and along with Ryan Jazz, complete that back four. Of course, that'll leave John Egan on the bench. A very, very good bench piece to have for the Tigers. Moving forwards, Regan Slater in the midfield, along with Amir Zajametrovic, and the torn pectoral muscle monster being Matt Crooks. And then moving forward, still with no Ollie McBurney, so I do think the front lineup will look as follows, with Joe Geldhart, Joel Ndala, and up top, Kyle Joseph. Of course, you can make a claim. Maybe a Destan comes in there. Of course, David Akintola's fit, ready to go. We'll see how that sort of shapes things up. But I would quite like to see that front three taking shape. There's some youth there. There's a bit of experience there. Of course, Joe Geltart, who's running on a pretty good form at the moment, who's scored pivotal goals in the past 3 games for the Tigers. All of them being the goals that either won the game or drew the game for the Tigers. Really contributing to this good run of form that we are on, while not having Ollie McBurney in the squad. So, into other news, talking about Ollie McBurney, shall we talk about him? Let's do it. He's picked up another award for September. He won the Hull City Uber Eats Player of the Month award, whereas the Goal of the Month award came for John Lundstrom's fantastic goal that he scored at the MKM Stadium. So, fantastic stuff there. 2 former Sheffield United lads picking up Player of the Month or Goal of the Month awards at Hull City. So fantastic to see that. A bit of news for some of you who like your Christmas jumpers and also Hull City wear. Well, Classic Football Shirts, they have dropped a Giovanni Scrooge Christmas jumper. It looks quite good, to be fair. It's got sort of the old Hull City Carew sort of style black and amber stripe. Like, think this, but with the thicker black stripes. Classic Premier League Hull City attire. Giovanni in the back, and it's got some Scrooge stuff on there. So if you are looking for a Christmas jumper, go and check out Classic Football Shirts for their Scrooge Giovanni Hull City Christmas jumper. That has released now. It was releasing on October 29th. Of course, that has been released now, so you can go and check that out and grab one if they are still available. So moving forward, last meetings between both sides. Well, it's not been the best of times for Hull City. We talked about in the opening, it's fate meets destiny in this one. Norwich City, yes, they're on a horrible run of form, but we tend to do horribly against Norwich City. To find the last time Hull City won at Carrow Road, you're going to go back all the way to 2010. Yes, that's rolling back the years quite some bit. 15 years since we last won at Carrow Road. And it's gonna take a little bit for Hull City to get this one over the line. Of course, Norwich City not in the best of form, but where fate meets destiny, Hull City 9 times out of 10 do end up on the short end of things. Meetings between Norwich City as well, even at the MKM Stadium, have not been the best. It's been a very, very tough time to be a Hull City fan whenever we face up against the Canaries. So certainly going to be one to watch out for tomorrow. As I said, form coming into this one, Norwich City, a lot of red there, nothing but red there. Whereas Hull City, of course, we're talking a 5-game unbeaten streak. 3 wins in there, split apart by 2 draws. And then you've got, of course, Norwich City, who are, I think, 8 games without a win in the league. So certainly going to be a tale of two halves. The Hull City side that most tipped to be going down at the start of the season, and Norwich City side which quite a lot of people were tipping to be up around the playoffs. And both teams are at the very opposite end of the table as to where people were predicting them to be. So, table-wise, I mean, talking about the table, of course, it's funny to look at it this early on, but we will still look at it as a good indicator of how teams are doing at this point in the season. Of course, with Hull City's little bit of defensive sureness over the past couple of games, their goal difference has improved back to that 0 there, with 20 goals scored, 20 goals conceded, with 5 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses. Quite nicely done, that 5-4-3. And then, of course, Norwich, 2 wins, 2 draws, 8 losses. Boasting a negative 6 goal difference and only 8 points out of the first 12 matches in the league. So I mean, there's nothing but saying that Norwich are in a bit of a horrid situation at the moment. It might be a case of this game if Norwich do lose, it'll be probably the game that their manager just gets sacked. But we'll wait and see on that one, how things pan out. Player to watch out for. I mean, it is tough to pick. There was really only one choice, that being Josh Sargent. We know what he can do for Norwich. The number 9 for Norwich, 25 years old, so still relatively young, and also banging in goals. He scored 5 goals so far for the season. So if I want to refer back to my last stat, Norwich City have scored 12 goals this season. Josh Sargent has nearly contributed with half of them goals. He's also grabbed himself 1 assist in the 12 matches that he has played for Norwich City this season, and that 1 assist actually came last time out for them, the sole goal that they scored against Swansea as they lost 2-1. I believe there was actually leading. Oh no, they came up to tie in that one through that assist and then went on to go and lose. But he's been playing pretty consistently, 90 minutes. I mean, he played 70 minutes last time out, but before that, been playing a consistent 90 minutes for Norwich City. Hasn't been doing the most, but whenever he's in and amongst it, he's getting there. He's getting the goals. If he's going to get a goal, he's going to get a goal and he's going to have a good game. If he's not getting a goal, he's probably going to be having a bit of a more stinky game. So certainly one hot and cold to watch out for, Josh Sargent. But as I say, it's hard to pick anyone on this Norwich side that is actually a player to watch. Josh Sargent is seeming to be the obvious pick here. So let's move forward. Score prediction. I do think Hull City will right the wrongs of the past 15 years and actually grab a win at Carrow Road in a 2-0 fashion. A clean sheet as well to go along with it, which is even better to say. A 12:30 kickoff it being, and we know Hull City have got their touch and go times with that as well. But to go on the road, grab a win at Norwich City and a 2-0 clean sheet win would be the absolute dream out of this one. With goals coming through from the Tigers, I predict Joe Gelhardt to grab yet another one and prove that who needs Ollie McBurney when you've got an informed Joe Gelhardt. I mean, it'd be lovely to have both of them fit ready in the starting lineup. And then along with that, a goal from Joel and Darla as well, as hopefully he'll return back to the starting lineup in this one. So I'll leave you that photo of Sergei Kirich as I ask you to let me know down in the comments what your prediction is ahead of this game. If you think Hull City will win, hopefully they do. First away win at Carrow Road since 2010, sorry. Hopefully it is. Hopefully it's a win. Let me know what your score prediction is, who you think will score for the Tigers down in the comments, and hopefully we'll be celebrating a win for Hull City tomorrow. I will be live on the channel tomorrow for the 12:30 kickoff to have our watch along going along with the game, so stay tuned on the channel by liking and subscribing to see that. Of course, I'll have my reaction video out after the game as well, so stay tuned on the channel by liking and subscribing to keep up to date with everything Hull City, whether that be the live streams, the reactions, the prediction videos like this, vlogs, news, all that and so much more here on the HullCityFanCentral YouTube channel. So I'll see you in the next video or the next live stream. Up the Tigers!